Hello, my name's Alex Taskin and I'm the founder of Passe-Partout, and I'd like to just take a few minutes of your time to talk about coaching and how coaching is developing, and particularly our response to that at Passe-Partout. We're really aiming for a much more whole person centred approach, looking at all elements of the individual when we're coaching them. So that might be the cognitive space, it might be looking into some emotional space, certainly the relational, the somatic. It might touch on some integrated issues. It might even talk about the wider context in terms of community and what's going on in the culture of their own organisation. And that approach really digs in a little bit deeper. I've very much got a feeling that if people are not safe with themselves, how can they be safe with others? How can they lead others? How can they be good coaches? How can they be good mentors? How can they be good team leaders? How can they be good team players if they're struggling with some deeper issues with themselves? So for me, coaching is so much richer than that goal-centred approach, which was very much evident across the board. I think now we're moving into a different space, especially post the pandemic, and when well-being is such an issue for people, and we really want to keep people in our organisations. We want to keep them motivated, we want to keep them happy, we want to keep them looking for the next challenge, but things that are really right for them, they're ultimately going to be right for our organisation as well. But for me, some of that really starts with the coach. So if the coach themselves haven't done some work and they're not sure about what their own state of play is, if they haven't thought about how they are in all those elements that I've just talked about, the somatic, the cognitive, the emotional, the relational, then they're not going to be able to coach very effectively. So for me, we've got to start with the coach, and then we start moving on to the individuals that we're working with. It needs to be a very relational, trusting, two-way approach. And there's something about the magic that you get in between the coach and the person that you're coaching that becomes almost symbiotic in a good coaching relationship. And for me, I think that is becoming more and more important. And especially the executives that I'm coaching seem to be benefiting immensely from this very much wider approach. And I must say, even when I'm coaching people that might be in all different parts and from different sectors, they're also finding this very beneficial. True empathy, being able to walk shoulder by shoulder with somebody through their troubles, makes a huge difference. Of course, there's a set of tools, a set of building blocks, a set of way of doing this type of coaching. But I think we need to look at it slightly differently to actually get the best out of it, both from ourselves and for the people that we're coaching, to make it sustainable, to make it something that is ever changing and becomes actually life changing for the people that we're coaching. So if you're interested in this approach, you are very welcome to come along to our taste today on the 16th of May at 12 o'clock. We'd be delighted to see you there, and we'll talk a little bit more about our approach, which is getting to be quite different, I believe, from other places. It builds in all the good stuff from the John Whitmore and all the goal-centred approach, but it actually overlays it with this other very warm and very person-centred, which really gets just that little bit deeper.